Picture perfect, you don't need no filter. Go just make them drop dead, you a killer.
Okay, so I want to make my chili. So I have to start out with the, ingredients. And it really doesn't matter which one you put in first. Of course, I did olive oil in the pot. And then you just have like cumin, just a little bit, not much. And then you're going to have, I put rosemary in. Again, all these ingredients are going into the bottom of the pot. I don't add them to liquid or anything like that. And then I have the thyme leaves, just a little sprinkle, not much. And then, of course, I'm going to have my turmeric, very important to have turmeric. Do have that. Add a little bit of that in there. And then I'm going to have, of course, you could do fresh garlic. I don't have it. So I'm using powdered garlic. It's still okay. Still gets it across. Then also we'll add, I want to have a little bit of Italian seasoning to it. And so I'm going to do it's an Italian seasoning mix there. So I put that in there. Okay. And then, of course, to give it a little more acidity, I have my own balsamic vinegar. Da-da! Just a little bit of that. Just enough to give it a little fun. And then, of course, I'm going to have my organic ground paprika. Okay. Put that in there. All right. Now then, those are basically all of my seasonings. Let's see. Don't know if I put the turmeric in. Turmeric, very important. All right, so those are my seasonings that I'll do. And then what I'm ready for is a little heat, and that will be using Texas Pete. I will continue this cooking in just a short while. Okay, the next step in my in my chili is to add the chicken. So here we go. It's canned chicken, breast meat. It's also got some rib meat in with it, and of course it's in its own water. Do not drain this at all. You'll need this as flavoring. So 2 cans of that. Now, what I like to do now is to actually get on the heat and get this incorporated. So the next step that I will do with this is I will mash all of this up and get it fine, and then I'll start adding all my different kinds of beans. I also will add in my fire roasted diced tomatoes, and of course for the heat I did say I would add the Texas Pete, so I'm going to do that now to get that flavoring going with the particular with the chicken meat, and it makes it really good. And this is my heat for my chili. All right, very good. Okay, next step, I'll let this get good and happy cooking, and then I'll mash it up, and then I'll start adding my other ingredients to it to make my 5-alarm, 5-bean chili, chicken chili. Okay, so now we've got our chicken nice and really getting happy with hot sauce and everything else. And so now it's time to add the beans. Now remember, I did make, beforehand, I made my pinto beans. So I'm ready to add those in to my chili. Okay, so that's done. Give those a quick stir to get the beans incorporated with the chicken. Okay, we got that going. Notice if you have any chicken that is kind of chunky, you'll want to kind of, break that up. Okay, so we've got that going. All right, very good. Now we're going to just add all of our beans to it. So I've got kidney beans, 1 can. Very important to leave the liquid. Don't drain it. Actually got some extra there that I will take care of that in a minute. All of these, and then I've got my can of Great Northern bean. Alrighty, put that in there. I've got my can of black beans. Some people might drain the black beans. I say not. It adds a thickener to your chili. Okay, and then I've got my last one is chickpea, or some people call it garbanzo beans. So add that to it. Okay, and then of course, we're gonna let this kind of cook down a little bit. And then I'll go and add the roasted tomatoes. And if I need to, I will add some more water, because I definitely want to get this all incorporated, start cooking nice and get happy. I will also, I always do a taste test to see how it's tasting. And if I need to add any more of the Texas Pete, I will. So, this is the next stage in my great 5-bean, 5-alarm chicken chili. All right, we'll be back. Okay, what you see right now is my pinto beans that I have decided to make from scratch so I can add them to my chili. And it's really easy. You just take your dried pinto beans and you soak them overnight, and then you just hydrate them again with a little chicken stock, and definitely the olive oil, and make sure you have processed water, and you just let it boil until it gets nice and tender. And then what you'll do with this is you will add this to your big old pot of chili, which will come later. That's all you do. Okay, the last stage of my chili is I want to add the diced fire roasted tomatoes. Okay, can of that. And I do have a secret ingredient that I do to it, but let me do this stirring here first. Get all of this incorporated to make this just out of this world. Now what you want to do is, you see you've got those diced tomatoes, and you really want to have that be kind of, softened. So you're going to let this cook. And I don't mean high cook, I mean a slow cooking over the stove. And once this is all done, this is going to be a fantastic 5-bean chicken chili. Okay, so the last thing that I do, and it's a little secret ingredient of mine that I do, and I know some people are probably going to cringe when they hear this, but I take some Colombian coffee grounds, just about a teaspoon, okay? And you just let that sprinkle in there, okay? So you do that, and you're going to stir all of this in together. It gives it, we're adding the coffee grounds to it, it really gives it an aromatic flavoring, a smell, exactly. But also what it's going to do is, you see it starts darkening your chili, but it also gives it a woodsy flavoring as well. Then the only other thing that I will do is I'm going to do a taste test, and if it's not hot enough, and I do want it hot, spicy wise, I'll add some more of the Texas Pete to it. So let me just taste and see how it tastes. Hold on. Good, but I do need some more heat, so I'm going to add some more Texas Pete to it. It would have been cayenne pepper. That would have been my ingredient, but I don't have any. So use what you have. Use your Texas Pete. Add your heat. Okay. Now then, we're just going to let that get really happy. Stir all this in together. And then I will put the lid over it and let this just slow cook. And it's going to be really hearty, chili, chicken chili. And I hope that those of you that try this at home will enjoy it. It doesn't take that long to cook. The one thing that I did, that made it a little bit more special was making my own pinto bean. But, you use what you have. If you don't have the, dried pinto beans and you don't want to process it that way, feel free to use the canned pinto beans. Same difference. Pinto beans, they're all of these beans are excellent. The only other thing that you'll see that I'm doing right now is I take like a wooden spatula and I take it and I chop. Yes, I do chop. So all of that tomato goodness, all of the beans, all of this, all those flavors that are included in the particular, bean or vegetable itself is now getting mashed in together. And this helps with the thickening process of your chili, but it also just makes all of these flavors just mix in together. And hopefully, and I'm sure it will be because I've made these chilies before, I will say that this will be the first time that I've ever done a 5-bean chili. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, the rest is going to take some time, slow cooking, and the longer the better, because you want those flavors to really enhance, especially you want that Texas Pete to enhance in with all the other ingredients, and it will make a fantastic hot, spicy chili. Okay, we'll see how it looks at the end.